I was lucky enough to have been adopted into the House of Fire and Fluorite when I was young, but it was impossible to escape the everyday reminders of just how human I was in comparison to those around me, especially when drinking was involved. Girls' night was sure to be a good time, if I didn't die from alcohol poisoning as a result. "Row!" Danny shouted, her face suddenly in mine, pulling me from my drunken musings. "On your feet, lady. The night is young and there's debauchery to be had." "I've debauched enough, methinks," I said, swaying on my feet as Adora rushed by, headed for the dance floor. Danny laughed as she grabbed my shoulders to steady me. "There's my girl. Questionably conscious, but sarcastic as always." I felt the soft brush of fur against my arm as Danny's wolf, Nova, flanked me, most likely to help keep me from keeling over. "Perhaps that's my magical ability," I said, as Danny took me by the hand and ushered me through the masses to meet up with Adora. Even in my drunken haze, I could see her blue hair flaring out around her as she spun and swayed. The numbing effects of alcohol couldn't hide the tug of sadness in my chest at the sight. I'd missed them terribly since they'd left, and I knew that trend would only continue over time. Because the houses, as a general rule, just didn't mix, even if you leave on far better terms than they did. I gripped her hand a little harder as she led the way, but my sadness quickly gave way to the nausea rolling in my gut. The second we joined the mob, I shouted something to Danny, then made a beeline for the bathrooms down the hall just beyond the dance floor. As luck, and the males who seemed to design every public bathroom in existence would have it, there was a line of women as far as my blurry eyes could see. With a garbled curse, I pushed past the bodies, creating a bottleneck in the narrow hallway, headed for the back exit. The revenge of mixing alcohol waited for no man. I slammed into the push bar on the metal door and fell into the alley beyond. My shoulder caught on the nearby dumpster and spun me around, an added effect I definitely didn't need given my state. Disoriented and about to puke, I flailed my arms, desperate to catch hold of anything to steady me before I stopped fighting the inevitable. My right hand grabbed something solid and held onto it like the lifeline it was. The second the world stopped spinning, Jimmy, Jack, and Johnny came back up about as smoothly as they'd gone down. Breathing hard and silently wishing for death, I wiped the sweat from my brow with the back of my hand and stood up straight, right into the man I'd grabbed onto to steady myself in the alleyway.